So I'm Laszlo Barabas from Dice Electronics, and I represent a company who is specializing in creating HD radio modulators that goes into vehicles.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about what HD radio is. I've heard advertisements for it on the radio, but I've never actually paid that much attention to it.
So HD radio is a digital broadcast technology. It is using a digital side transmission that is currently available for most of your local radio stations to enhance the audio quality and to provide multiple stations.
Okay, so it's a digital version of the analog station.
It is, and in digital you have higher audio quality and you receive more content.
Okay, how is that different than like XM or satellite radio that we have today?
XM and satellite is a satellite-based technology. They're transmitting from above the earth down to you, versus HD radio is taking advantage of the local radio stations that are terrestrial.
We've had digital radio in one form or another for a little while, and it's never really taken off. What's been holding it back? I mean, why don't consumers really run out en masse and buy what should be a superior technology?
So consumers like to receive local content. They like to get content that is custom tailored to their environment. With satellite radio, you get global content. Everybody is listening to the same satellite program, whether it's comedy or news. It is all over the place. However, with digital radio, with HD radio, you can receive your local content from local radio stations. This is something that's a lot more appealing to the customers, and we see a lot of customers making the transition to HD radio these days.
Well, it feels like it's going to be one of those transitions where if I can get it as an option in my new car, I might check on it. Otherwise, I may not pay a whole lot of attention to it. So what is the status of actually getting it into cars? Or am I totally wrong? I mean, are people running out and grabbing the transmitters, or receivers, excuse me?
So there are companies today who are offering HD radio as a dealer install option. BMW was the first one to introduce this, and there are more companies coming on board. Ubiquity lists the majority of companies who are signed up as a technology adapter at one point, maybe year 2006, 7, 8, and upcoming years. And if you are a vehicle owner today and you do not have an option to buy a dealer-installed HD radio unit, you can go and look for aftermarket suppliers such as HD Dice from Dice Electronics.
Well, are the consumers going in for the aftermarket options, or is it basically still the geeky techies that are doing it?
Consumers are getting more and more interested. Consumers are welcoming the drop-in price point. Last year, the price point was about $300 and above for HD radio technology. This year, it's dropping down to $200 and below.
What is the magic price point? What's the point when you think you're going to start getting mass market adoption?
There are different theories about what is a magic price point. $199 is definitely a price point that is very strongly agreed by the majority of mass market retailers as a price point. Another price point that they're looking for is $99, and it will probably take a couple of years before technology gets there.
And so is there incentive for the radio stations to add commercials for HD radio? I mean, why do the radio stations even care?
Radio stations benefit from having multiple stream. When you get multiple stream, multicast programming, then you can attract more customers. If your original primary station is a country music station, you are only attracting country music listener. However, your secondary channel may be transmitting in rock, may be transmitting in classical, and you may add a third program that transmits in a foreign language. So this is a great benefit to the radio stations because they can reach out to a larger customer base.
How long has HD radio been around?
HD radio technology has been around for about 3 years, and the broadcasters adopted it. Currently, there's about 1,100 broadcasters on the air, providing over 1,600 active streams. About 3,000 of them signed up for HD radio program and will be becoming HD radio compliant in the upcoming months.
Now, is that something where they willingly said, as I hit my tripod, is that something where they willingly said, we're going to expend money and make HD radio, or was that technology given to them for free?
The broadcasters buy the technology to transmit in HD, but it is a great benefit to them. It is a relatively low-cost expansion for them if you would compare it to the cost of adding a second channel to transmit at a different frequency.
but they still need to buy the digital transmission tower and the license from the FCC, do they not?
The transmission tower is exactly the same. The transmission equipment is exactly the same. They need to buy an HD radio encoder box that is sold by iBiquity and by partners of iBiquity.
Got it. So they just have to add a little box. Now they've got HD radio. They can offer much higher quality content. Now the challenge is just getting that higher content into the consumers. And when that market hits, it's kind of up for debate. You know, who really knows? But we're only 3 years into it.
Only 3 years into it, looking at HD TV as an analog, in the first couple of years when the technology was introduced, it was only for early adapters, it was only for the techno geeks, so-called. However, today, almost everybody has an HD radio, HD TV in their home. HD radio is going to follow this path, and we believe that in the next couple of years, by 2010, almost everybody will have HD radio capability.
Well, I think there's a slight difference though, because in HD TV, you had really horrible picture quality for like 40 years, and all of a sudden you've got this magnificent quality, and in addition, the FCC is shutting off the analog broadcast, so people will have no option but to get a digital set. Is that going to be this? It doesn't sound like it's going to be the same thing in radio. There's not going to be a cutoff point.
I'm not aware of an actual cutoff date. This is something that you have to verify with FCC. However, the additional quality in radio station is pretty apparent. So an AM station transmitting in digital sounds like FM. Now imagine all those AM stations that you've been listening to, the only reason why you've been listening to it because they are talk stations. Now they have the opportunity to move into music broadcast with digital, which is an entirely new field for them. The FM station transmitters are enjoying higher audio quality and multiple content. So it's a win-win situation. The radio stations are very jazzed about this technology. They want this technology. They want other customers to listen to it because it benefits them both.